The motto of Boy Scouts is be prepared. I was a Boy Scout for years, and that kind of became the motto for my life. Also, um, this isn't specifically about like scouting, but it's about the motto "Be prepared" and what that really means. And those of you that know who I am now know that I'm way into zombie apocalypse talk, into the world type of scenarios. I'm prepping, if you will. I'm not a big into prepper. I have not dug like a bunker in the backyard or anything like that. But I'm in for stockpiling food, uh, clothes, and I daydream about stockpiling guns and ammo. I've never shot a gun. My wife's never shot a gun, but we talk about learning, and keeping ammunition on hand, and in the event that something happens. So you can imagine that be prepared takes on a different meaning in light of the zombie apocalypse. You're prepared for the end of civilization. You're prepared for what might happen. Kind of doomsday prepping. But even before I was into the zombie stuff, I mean, because it's relatively new. It's only been probably not even a year that I've been as into zombies as I am now. I mean, I like zombie movies and zombie TV shows, but I've always kind of looked at the end times. I say always. Okay, at least 20 years, 15 to 20 years, because I remember when I was in college thinking a lot about the end, the end is near type stuff, and I remember eschatology was a big deal. If you don't know, I'm studying to be a preacher. I was on my path to ordination, and I did a lot of Bible study classes and stuff like that. And they talked about eschatology. Now, all eschatology it's a big $5 word for end of the world stuff. Eschaton is the end, ology, of course, study of. So it's a study of the end of the world, basically. And there are places in the Bible where the end of the world is predicted and described. You've probably heard of the four horsemen of the apocalypse in the book of Revelation. So that's end time stuff. Okay, so I've been kind of curious about end time stuff. I've been kind of thinking about it for a while, and it comes down to being prepared. I think is it going to happen? I don't know, and you never know what's going to happen. But you've always got to be prepared for the outcome. You got to be prepared for the possibilities. Because I think there is a very big possibility. I feel it down deep that something big is going to happen to society. I don't know what it's going to be, but something really huge is going to happen in our lifetimes. We've got to be prepared for it. It's fun and it's entertaining to look at the zombie apocalypse and watch zombie shows, and that's entertaining. But what it comes down to is it's kind of also build you up in some way. To me, everything that is entertaining has to have an element of education. And the zombie shows, the element of education is you got to be prepared for what might happen. Be prepared. Okay, and usually when you hear preparedness or zombie prepper or any language like that, of course you think about build a bunker. You think about weirdos who are, but what about the other people? You got to be prepared emotionally. I think you got to be prepared spiritually for whatever's going to happen, because if the end of the society happens, that would change a lot in your life. And you've got to be ready for that, because when the change happens, you could go into like emotional shock and not be able to deal with it, and you could be one of those people who just kind of go crazy, and you don't want that to happen. You want to keep some of your faculties in mind. You want to be logical still. You want to be able to protect your family, protect your friends. You want to be able to survive. Well, not just survive. You want to be able to thrive, and you've got to be prepared. It's not just the crazy stuff. Other stuff, spiritual, but physical. Not just great, physical. Now, a year ago, I was nowhere near physically prepared because if something happened, yeah, I was in Scouts. Yeah, I can build a tent. I can feed a fire. I used to be able to start fires with just wood. I can't do that anymore. I have to have matches. So survivalism is a big part, of course, but also physically, I can get by with not eating very much, and I can physically, your body can only go without water for so long, but I could do it for a while, and I wouldn't like freak out. But more than that, there's the aspect of what if somebody was chasing you? And you had to run. I couldn't have run very far. I mean, even if somebody was chasing me and I had to run, I ended up stopping and wheezing and, I don't know, getting shot in the back or whatever. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what could happen. But I physically could not run. My endurance, for lack of a better word, sucked. I was a wuss. And I'm still kind of a wuss, but darn, I've got endurance and strength now that I didn't have a year ago. And it's always increasing. I'm not the fastest, but you start running after me, I at least go a good 2 or 3 blocks before I fall down. I mean, there was a time I go 50 feet and fall down. I mean, and it'll buy me some time. A little bit of endurance. I'm going to be able to protect my family if I ever have to. That's a big deal to me. So being prepared, this last year has really changed me in being prepared physically. And I'm continuing to grow, and I'm continuing to work, and I'm going to become better, because something's going to happen. I need to take the reins as the leader of my household.